Good morning, Miss Doran. Today I'll be examining Da Vinci's body of work. Leonardo da Vinci was born in Tuscany on April the 15th, 1452. Leonardo da Vinci was considered a genius who invented revolutionary ideas such as a parachute, armed vehicles, and the giant crossbow for the rest of the world. He studied and mastered a variety of different skills. He was a painter, an engineer, an architect, a writer, a scientist, and an inventor. Da Vinci had an extensive material practice. Before painting an artwork, he would fill notebooks full of his observations of the human body. When he was an apprentice, he would use wet plaster technique. When he was employed, he started using dry stone for his artworks. Tempera was a paint that artists used around the world. Tempera was a paint that artists use around the world. It dries very fast, which meant the artist couldn't bend the colors in. Tempera consisted of colored pigments mixed in with water and an egg yolk. Egg tempera was the main method used in the Renaissance age. In Da Vinci's art making, he would use oil, artificial pigments, and walnut. He learned the basic skills of sculpting and continued to this through his art making. Da Vinci was tasked by Francesco Salvas to sculpt a 5-meter sculpture of a knight riding a horse. The materials used from this statue was bronze metal. Da Vinci had a wide experience in the technique of bronze casting. Da Vinci's material practice. The materials mostly used by Da Vinci was oil paints that he made by hand, ground pigments. He regularly used the colors blue, green, brown, which was environmental colors. Da Vinci's painting technique is to paint the undercoat in grey, then applies glaze to give depth. This creates a mood for the audience. The artworks created by Da Vinci is connected to nature and science. The themes that are used in his paintings are women, religious, and men. In 1481, Da Vinci approached Lorenzo de' Medici for help as he left Florence to become an experienced painter. The House of Medici was an Italian banking and political dynasty in the Republic of Florence during the first half of the 15th century. House of Medici supported other famous artists such as Raphael. Da Vinci was commissioned by Lorenzo de' Medici to paint the Last Supper. This relationship was a long-lasting one and became good friends. In 1495, Da Vinci painted one of his largest paintings, The Last Supper. This painting depicts Christ and the apostles together in shock and horror as Christ tells his apostles that one of them will betray him. In this painting, you can see Christ reaching towards the wine and bread. This symbolizes the Eucharist. The key characteristics of his painting practice are the colors used in the Last Supper. In this painting, Jesus and Saint John have been painted in a traditional symbolic color red, blue, for the sacred medieval paintings. Judas has been painted in red and blue as well, but is wearing grey garment. This is an indication for an evil agent undercover. Da Vinci uses a technique that makes Jesus and his disciples sitting in a symmetrical and look realistic to the eye. Da Vinci uses Jesus' head in the center of the window to produce a halo. The materials used in this painting was a combination of oil paint and tempera. This was painted on dry plaster. In 1775, Da Vinci painted a portrait of Ginevra da Vinci. This is a good example of his mid-career artwork. The clothes, hairstyle, and her makeup demonstrates to the audience the wealth, family, and educated of the lady. Ginevra Da Vinci was a veteran ambassador of Florence. Da Vinci may be commissioned by Ginevra to celebrate the marriage. The material used in this painting was oil paint and wood as the canvas. The oil paint was adding layers to add depth and tone. In 1503, Da Vinci created one of his most recognized paintings, the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa was the wife of Francesco di Gennaro. Da Vinci was commissioned by the House of Medici to paint Mona Lisa, but kept the painting as he went to Francis I, the King of France, to stay in his castle, inviting him. He continues painting the Mona Lisa while in France. A technique used in the Mona Lisa is that he painted the landscape in the background first. He then added the Mona Lisa's veil on the top of the landscape. Another technique was sfumato. This is a technique that allows the colors and tones to gradually shade in one another, producing softened outlines. The materials used in this painting was oil paint and wood as the canvas. He used oil paint as it dries slowly, which gives time to blend the colors in. As Da Vinci got older, he moved to France. Francis I sent a letter inviting Leonardo da Vinci to stay with him, so Da Vinci agreed to move to France. When Da Vinci was 65 years old, he had a stroke which paralyzed his arm. Leonardo da Vinci stayed in the castle when he retired and was given the best medical treatment in the Renaissance age. Following da Vinci's death, his body of work, including the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, and notebooks full of his sketches, were left to his apprentice. These have inspired many artists around the world to create their own techniques and style. Thanks for listening.